Is an introduction really necessary for someone we all know so well?
Okay guys, so today we're going to be talking about my dating journey in Atlanta. Dating in Atlanta has been a fucking mess, to say the least. But I'm gonna bring y'all back. We're gonna start from the very beginning, okay? So I've been in Atlanta since February of 2022. When I first moved to Atlanta, I was like the worst version of myself. I was depressed, I was unhappy, I was unhealthy, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically. Like, she was not very much so her like worst version of me to date. And that's not really like, if you know who I am personally, like that's really not who I am. Like, that's not my energy, that's not my aura. I don't claim that. Like, I got there and I had to get the fuck up out real quick, okay? So I moved to Atlanta and the last thing on my mind was dating. I used that year to kind of like rebuild myself, rebrand myself. I was growing, I was changing, I was just, you know what I mean? Like, literally becoming the best version of myself. So the beginning of 2023, I was kind of like, all right, like I want to date a little bit, but I was working a lot. I wasn't really outside. I'm not like an outside girly for real. I'll say October of 2024, like I really started like making myself go outside and like do things. I went to this Halloween party and I was like, damn, this is kind of cute. I should go out more. Like, every now and then I'll meet up with my girlfriends from work. We'll go out, or most of the time we end up just like going to somebody's house and like drinking, keeping it cute. Like, I don't be outside. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go outside more. Like, I'm going to make it a point. So the beginning of 2023, I had got my breast reduction, and yeah, like new to the itty bitty titty committee, feeling super fine, like body tea, mind tea, everything was lit. So I went to Koi 16. It's like this art weekend in Atlanta, and like, you know, everybody be outside. So it was kind of fire. That was a really good experience for me. Like, met some cuties. I said, okay, got a few numbers. Like, there was a few people trying to talk to me, and I'm like, oh shit, like, I can put myself out here. Mind you, I have been warned about like dating in Atlanta and like the gay men on the scene, the DL men on the scene, the bi men on the scene, like years ago, like way before I even thought that I would ever like live in Atlanta for real. So that was in my head, but I didn't experience like men who were visibly or openly like bi or gay trying to talk to me. And I, like, you can ask any of my friends, people who really know me, I'd be real quick, I'd be like, he's gay. Like, that nigga is gay. Like, I'm like 90% of the time I'm assuming you're gay before I'm assuming you're straight. Like, I don't play that shit. So what I really enjoyed about that art weekend in Atlanta was the men were not scared to actually like approach me. I feel like most of the time when I go out, men be just like, you know, if they are attracted to me, they're not going to say anything. Like, most of the time I'm just like, these niggas don't like me. Like, I'm not hit. It's no way I'm hit. Like, I'm definitely not hit, but what the fuck? Like, nobody approaches me. I kind of had to like come back to and ask myself these questions. Am I approachable? Do I give standoffish? And as I started going down this list, and I'm like, this don't have shit to do with me. Like, I'm definitely not unapproachable. I'm not standoffish. I have a big personality. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not the type of person that gives like, oh, I'm scared to like talk to her. Like, what do I say to her? So if it just wasn't happening, it just wasn't happening, right? Hold on. So whatever. That was a cute little moment. I went back inside, went back to work, did some traveling, just not prioritizing it. It's so funny. I had a conversation with Latea, and I'm like, you know, I probably would have been in like 2 or 3 relationships if I actually prioritized dating, but it's just not something that I've ever been like pressed to do. I guess you would consider me like a late bloomer. I had 2 boyfriends in high school. One was like semi-serious, but a hot fucking mess because it was like high school. I had casual flings in college, not anything like super serious. And then when I started flying, when I would talk to people, they would be like, oh, you a flight attendant? Like, oh, you got a nigga in every city. Like, no, that's not the case. I hate that assumption. And I feel like when that happened so much to me, like, I kind of got discouraged. Okay, y'all about to make me have a nigga in every city because y'all think I have a nigga in every city. And if that's how everyone is going to treat me, I might as well have a nigga in every city, right? No. So anyway, We're closing out 2023 and I'm going into 2024 and I'm like, okay, a bitch is craving some love and affection. You know, like I am 29 at the time, you know, like I'm, you know, actually craving like intimacy. This is weird. Like I haven't been in a relationship in a really long time. Like I kind of just want to find somebody that I can travel with. You know what I mean? Like I have a super fun family. I want to bring like home, do cool things with. But like, honey, I'm the catch, not the one chasing. Like I'm not about to be like, gimme, gimme, gimme. Like we're not doing that. Like a man is going to find me. I am very much so not outside seeking a man. That does not mean that I don't want to be in an intimate like relationship. Sorry if I'm saying like a lot. I just talked to my friend about that the other day and I say that word so much. But anyway, so I said, okay, we're going to be intentional. We're going to put ourselves on like a little dating app or whatever. Wait, pause. I forgot to tell y'all a story. So the end of 2023, what got me kind of in my bag for 2024 with dating was I ended up meeting this guy and it was like a very weird situation on how we met. Like I guess you can say like through a mutual, and he was like not someone that I was just like, oh, I'm so attracted to, but I wasn't dating and I was interested in dating. So I'm like, okay, like he's not unattractive, but like maybe you just have to get to know him, right? Like I'm not going to be the person who just doesn't care. And I'm also not the type of person who's just like, oh, looks. Like, you know, I have to be somewhat physically attracted to you. Like I have to be physically attracted to you to like want to talk to you. But I really get stimulated by like your mind, your personality, how you treat me. Are you sweet? Are you kind? Like things like that. So I said, okay, I'm gonna go on a date with him. So he takes me on a date to this place downtown Atlanta, and you know, it was casual. It wasn't anything like too crazy or too serious, but I'm like, oh, you look so handsome. And he's like, thank you, the closet is closeting. And I'm like, instantly turned off, like got the ick in 2.5. Like I'm like, yeah, no, like this isn't the one. But I'm not about to be rude. Like I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna enjoy this food and I'm gonna give him good conversation, and you know what I mean, maybe he can be like my good sis, who knows. Hated it. Yeah, hated it real bad. And that was the end of that. And then I met this other guy who was like in and out of Atlanta. He traveled a lot for work too, so I felt like it would have been cool if I traveled and he traveled and like we could kind of like meet each other. I don't know. I feel like even if I meet somebody and they live in Atlanta, it's going to kind of give long distance as long as I'm doing trips. And I'm not about to change my work schedule up until you give me a reason to be home. Like I'm not working turns every day to rely on somebody saying like, oh, like want to go to the pub, want to go to the bar. Like, nigga, no. Like, we're absolutely not doing that. Like, this is my lifestyle and I'm not going to change that until it's somebody who's worth me changing it for. So I'm like, oh, cool. Like, we can meet each other like in passing. We can do cool dates in different cities, whatever. And the end of the date went like really cool. And I kind of was like turned off by the end of the first date because he asked if I wanted to like chill with him in his Airbnb, and I was like, no, I'm gonna go home. Like this was a cute first date. Like let's, you know what I mean? Like let me know when you want to plan another date. So he asked me if I ever been to a gun range before, and I was like, no, I've never been to a gun range. And he's like, oh, you're a Georgia girl now and you never been to the range? Like let me take you on Tuesday. Cute. So I'm like 11 a.m. I think we were scheduled to go to this place in like Buckhead. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna let you know when I'm leaving the house. I'm texting him. I'm like, hey, I just got in the car. I'm leaving the house. And I'm like on the way down the highway. And he had responded like, okay, like I should be there like around 11:10 or 11:15, something like that. So I get there and I'm like, hey, like, I'm here. No response. The nigga ghosts me. No response. Oh, okay, I get it. You're mad that I didn't go to your Airbnb after the first date that we had at the fucking Hard Rock bar. Did you think that you were getting some pussy? Like after one date? Like, is that what I'm giving out here? Because like that's not the case. So you're texting me down to the morning of and you decide to ghost me after you know I'm on my way to this gun range to meet you for another date. So fucking weird. So 2 weeks goes by and he ends up texting me talking about, hey, I'm sorry. I felt like, you know, you wanted something that was a little more serious, and that just, I didn't want to like lead you in the wrong direction. And I'm just like, oh, okay. So my thing is like, when I said that to you at the bar at the first date, why wouldn't you have communicated and said like, oh, I'm not looking for anything like that serious right now, or I'm looking for something like a little more casual? I am the best communicator. Like, I am the best communicator when it comes to talking to people, period. But like, when I'm talking to a man or somebody that I'm into, like men, period, I'm just like, this is what I'm looking for. This is what I want. Like, you come and approach me and be like, what am I on? Like, I'm going to run this shit down for you. And now I'm kind of just feeling like I need to be the one asking like men, like, first, okay, well, what is it? What is it that you're on? Like, what are you on? Because I feel like when you tell men what it is that you're on, they're going to do everything in their power to make it seem like that's what they're on, until they actually fucking like either get what they want or like get tired of you. Like, oh, I'm going to just like manipulate this girl because, you know, maybe I can get what I want if I manipulate her, and like she's stupid or fucking goofy. Lover girls down fucking 10,000. Like, I got the lover girls down real bad because the streets are not for me, and my luck is like not that girl. Like, it's like not that girl at all. But anyway, yeah, so that was that. And I was discouraged. So the whole rest of 2023 going into 2024, I was like kind of over it. And I'll say like when the spring started of 2024, I was like, okay, I'm going to start dating. And I kind of like put it off. Like, I'm going to go on like a celibacy journey. Like, I'm not going to have any like casual flings. I'm not like talking to nobody from my past. Like, no hey big head texts are being entertained. Like, none of the above. Like, we're just off that. So the end of 2024, I ended up meeting this cool guy, but he lived in Charlotte, which was like mad unfortunate. And we ended up talking like every single day. And just a series of events happened where I just was like, okay, this just isn't going to work. Like, it's, you know, it's not going to work. Great friend, but like not going to work. You're not interested in doing long distance. I'm not forcing you to realize that like I can be in Charlotte just as much as I could be in Atlanta. Like, I'm not proving that to nobody, right? So got over it. Boom. Okay, meet somebody else. We start talking the middle of December, and like I felt like everything was like kosher, was cool. I felt like we had a lot of shit in common. You know what I mean? Like, great energy, like cool chemistry, like, you know what I mean? Like, felt like he was kind of cute. And it wasn't really fucking cute. It wasn't fucking cute at all. He was very manipulative. And I'm just like, damn, like, do I have terrible dating? You know what it is? Like, I don't want to say like I date the wrong guys, but I don't date enough. Like, I'm not a serial dater. I tell people all the time, like, I'm not the type of person that can entertain multiple people at a time. Like, how y'all be texting 5 different niggas at one time? I don't know. That's not who I am. That's not who I'm interested in becoming. And all my friends are like, you have to start like talking to more than one person at a time, because when you're talking to more than one person at a time, it's like this person is doing more than this person, and you can see why this person shouldn't even be on your line. And then when it's just this person, you start talking to somebody else, and then you see that this person is contributing to or stimulating you more than this person. So it's like, okay, like, I get it, a process of elimination. And most people date like that. I feel like I have a hard time doing that because I'm an emotional girl. I'm an emotional girl. Like, my feelings, I be invested. Like, I be like, yeah, this is my man. This is my man, period. Like, I come very straight laced. You're going to know what it is. I'm going to tell you the second that it's something that I don't like about you. I'm going to tell you the second that I'm not going for some shit. Something that, like, you know what I mean? Like, is this who you are as a person? Is this something that you can work on? Do you feel this way about this? Do our morals not align? Do our, like, religious beliefs not align? Like, the second that I feel like something is just not going to work, I'm diverting. We're having a conversation and I'm diverting about it. But what I can't respect in today's world of dating is people who are like just toying around and playing around with like emotions. And I don't know if men feel like women just be like on bullshit. Cause again, like I'm not like an outside girly, but like my experience with being outside has been like, and when I say outside, like dating, like even putting myself in like position to be approached, it has just been like, oh, okay, like you want to waste my fucking time. Like you want to waste my time. So I have just recently decided that I'm going back on another like hiatus. Like y'all got it. I'm good. Like God is literally going to have to like drop my man out the sky like on me, and like he's going to have to like shake my shoulders and like wake me up and say, hey, like it's me. Like I'm the one, because the level of like discouragement, like I'm so discouraged. I'm so discouraged. It's just, it's crazy. And God's timing, of course, like just because I can't control when it happens, like again, I'm human. Like please, like don't be in my comments talking about some it's gonna happen. I know that the girl is very much so blessed and highly favored. Like I know that I have what's coming to me. I don't want to hear none of that. Like you have time. She's not on no crazy like biological clock. Like it's none of that. So refrain from those comments, because that's going to piss me off. But as a human, as a woman with feelings and emotions, I'm still allowed to crave certain levels of intimacy and affection, despite it not being the time. Like, you know, it's very fucking agitating. And you know, Atlanta is really, really, really bad, because you do have those situations where it's like, okay, like I've been going out to Rocksteady for the last like 3 or 4 months, like on and off, kind of consistently. And I think like 3 or 4 guys have like approached me and asked for my number, and I've given them like my number while I was out and stuff. And as I'm texting like them, or we're getting to know each other, it's like this one guy got my number and he was like, oh, I live in Charleston. Oh, I was in Atlanta for the weekend. Like, what the fuck are you doing with me in Charleston? Like, you know what I mean? Realistically, if it happens where like, oh, you just so happen to live here and like I'm interested in doing that, or like it's something about you that I'm just like actually into and it's worth it, cool. But like you met me at the fucking bar, bro. You met me at a lounge and you think that I'm about to be like, I don't know you. Like we can't actually form a platonic friendship or relationship with you all the way in Charleston and me in Atlanta and expect for me to just, you know what I mean? Like, what am I just popping up? Oh, I met you at Rocksteady, now I'm just in Charleston. Like, very much so, you're trying to fucking kill me. We're not doing that. So that was weird. And then this other guy I met there was a cop, and he was like sending me all these like old ass pictures of himself. And like one of the pictures that he sent me was like his back, like I guess he was trying to like flex in the bathroom, but like he was like this, but like the ass was like kind of tooted up on the sink. No, nigga, you're gay. We're not doing this. Like, get off of my fucking line. You're blocked. You're blocked. You're ignored. You're blocked. It's crazy. And yeah, honestly, I think I went like 2 weeks in a row, because it was like the holiday season. Taddy was in town. Like we don't really go out that often like when she's here, so we decided to go out, like, and it was such a vibe the first night that we went out. We went back that same the same day, but like the next week, and he was in there again. And I'm like, oh, so, and you're a regular, like this is what you do. Not fucking cute. And something else that the men in Atlanta do, like I don't know what the vibe is, like lying about the age. Like you're in my face looking 45, telling me that you're 32 to 35, and that's crazy, because like I know what a 34, 35 looks like. I know what a 35, 36 looks like. Like, what is that about? You want to lie about your age because you want somebody like in this age range. Like, we can tell. Like, why are y'all lying about your age? Like, what is that? And yeah, no, not even that like a certain age is like too old. I'm not interested in like dating like older men. Like I don't want you to say like, oh, I'm 35, but you really be 42. Like I don't want to talk to a 42-year-old. Like I'm 30. I think the oldest that I would date is someone who's like, and like this is kind of a stretch, like 36 for me is just like it. Like, I know some people be like, oh no, you need like a 38. Like, honey, I'm thinking about like my future. I'm thinking about like my kids. I'm thinking about like just the age difference. I don't know, maybe I'm biased because my parents are only a year apart, but I don't want that like, oh yeah, like me and my man, like there's like an 8-year age gap. Like, that shit is like not cute to me. I think it's just not for everybody, and nothing against it if it works for you, but like for me personally, I kind of get really turned off by it. So I'm very much so fucking over it. Like, one thing I will say is I'm not like bitter when it comes to dating. I'm just exhausted by it. Like, I have things that I'm working on in my life right now that I'm so excited about, and I'm just taking my time and trusting God with, that have to do with me and becoming like a better, an even better version of myself, like the woman that like I can see myself becoming and turning into. That honestly, I have to take the signs of certain things not working out with people as confirmation that it's really just not my time. Like, finish blossoming into the woman that you're becoming, and like when the time is right, that will happen. Like, I know that it's going to happen. I'm kind of just fighting the human aspect of it, and like just the spiritual aspect of it. Like, I have to just like I know that this is how it's supposed to go, but like, but my body my body's telling me yes. No, it's not. But I'm a human. I'm a girl. I'm just a girl. I'm a lover girl at that. Like, I don't know. Another Valentine's Day single. No flowers. But I do have a friend who's really sweet to me. He's nice. And he be like wanting to go out and do stuff. And I be like, all right, like, come on, let's go. Like, he's single, I'm single. He's not in a place where he wants to date. It's not like that between us. But when he wants to go to like a lit restaurant and like put some fly shit on, he'll call me and I'll be like on the same page, like, okay, let's go. So I might make him just make a reservation somewhere and buy me flowers just so that I can feel like a fucking girl for the night. Because yeah, I want my roses too. Period. Period. She's tired. She's sick and she's tired. And I feel like as long as I'm just like having fun and, you know what I mean, being outside and being social and things are happening organically, I won't feel as crazy about entertaining the idea of dating versus me like, okay, I'm gonna put myself outside, I'm gonna see what's out here. Like, no, we're not doing that. So I just had to get my like rant on real quick, like, about that. I'm about to heat my little dinner up. I'm eating Brussels sprouts and a salmon burger for dinner, and I'm so excited about it. I'm going to finish my bitter Merlot, the best taste, the best flavor. And yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this dating in Atlanta vlog, because I'm fed up. Don't manipulate, don't lie, like, say what it is. Like, let me give you like some tips real quick. Even though I'm having a shit dating life in Atlanta, like, I can at least give you some communication tips that's going to make you feel so much better when something doesn't work out. Because despite my like annoyance with certain situations, I know that I showed up for myself honestly, full of integrity, like consistently. I'm going to make sure that I hit the mark for myself. Like, as long as you're communicating and you're saying what it is that you want, you're calling people out on shit that you don't like, you know what I mean? Like, being able to correct yourself in the situation. Like, if it's a situation where you're wrong, like, it can't always be like, you know, a problem. Like, if shit starts to become more of a problem before it's actually becoming, like, that shit is like a no-go. Like, it's just a no-go. And don't give people the benefit of the doubt. Like, the second that they show you who they are, believe them. I think that that's another problem that I have. I be just so fucking forgiving. Like, so forgiving to the point where I'm going to hurt over the situation instead of just like walking away, or, you know what I mean? Like, I'm the type to like need an explanation. Like, well, what was this about? Well, why did you do this? Well, why didn't you just say that? Well, going forward in your next situationship or your next you know what I mean, like trial run with entertaining a bitch, make sure that you X, Y, and Z. Like, yeah. I'm appalled. I'm appalled. I'm actually kind of drained from talking about it. I'm glad that I got that out real quick, because just when mine comes, it's going to be right, like top to bottom. Like, there's no way that I'm over here offering like all of this and like, you know what I mean, coming as I am, transparently and, you know, full of love and like receiving the bare minimum. Like, what the fuck is that? Unhappy in a relationship? Who? Where? Why? How? No. My shit's going to be right. Like, there's no way. And that's something else that just like brings me even more confirmation, which is shit not working out despite how annoyed I am. It's not supposed to be hard. It's not supposed to annoy you. It's supposed to be smooth and easy as fuck. And despite someone else taking advantage of you, like, you gotta just be able to stand like 10 toes down and just be like, you know what, like, that was fucked up, but like, you'll get yours. You know what I mean? Like, what goes around comes around. Like, you gotta let God handle those things for you and just be like okay with moving forward, especially in Atlanta. That's all I got.